Happy morning, everybody. Great afternoon and a wonderful evening. In in the year 2015, I got to know scientifically that we are deep inside, we're all empty. 99.99% from quantum physics perspective. Until then, I understood from a Vedic principles perspective, it's all there, it's all energy. We're all energy. You are that and I am that. All that is definitely understood. We're not the body, we're the soul. Aham Brahmasmi, Tattvamasi, I am Atma Brahma. All of them have been understood. But somewhere, as a scientist, as a computer engineer, I didn't never doubted it, but I guess the reasoning may be always there. How do you explain it? But then I accidentally came across this work of Dr. Joe Dispenza, where very clearly in one of these books called You Are the Placebo, that is where my beginning of getting into a deeper into the science aspects as much as possible. So ever since I read this statement, and then I started exploring. Then I went and attended workshop by Amit Goswami, a leading quantum physicist. It so happened around the same time. It's all happened at the same time. That was in U.S. California, where I used to travel for business quite a bit for my company. I was the founder CEO, so I used to travel quite a bit in trying to sell, and also had a team there. And that's when I came across this work, as well as I came across, then immediately one thing led to the other. So I attended Amit Goswami's program. Amit Goswami, who's written these books, quite a few books. One of them is called Self-Aware Universe. There's a book called Self-Aware Universe, How Consciousness Creates the Material World. But otherwise, he's a physicist, head of Department of Physics in Oregon University for a long time. Then he explored too on the whole nature of reality. So when I understood this subject that we are deep inside, we are really empty, and as emptiness, as energy, we are connected with each other, and this whole thing is called this quantum energy field, and our observation collapses the possibilities. So our thoughts and feelings fundamentally have a lot to do and everything to do in what we are experiencing outside. Now, the moment you understand this, then anything and anything without an exception that we say is because of somebody else outside will have to be questioned once again in our belief system. Anything, good or bad, doesn't matter. Good or bad, anything. If somebody is experiencing something in their life, can that be because of somebody else? Or is it because of if thoughts and feelings are creating a reality, if they're collapsing the possibility based on observation? So we got to start questioning ourselves. Gautam Buddha understood this long ago, that suffering is due to individual ignorance. So ever since I understood this, and I did so much research, and then when I'm looking back and then I'm contemplating my life became very positive ever since I understood myself from, yes, so suffering is our ignorance, it's all in the mind. So as much as possible, we stay into the positive thought process and we are good. So it is going. I was very, very happy. 2002 to 2015, life is going. Ups and downs are there. Just because a meditator, you not become suddenly like, this realized God that, that you don't have any ups and downs. Ups and downs will come. Meditation is about how you deal with situations in adversities, not that you don't get adversities. Of course, that is also planned. That's where we're going right now. Today's class, that we learn a little bit more about how can I create those absolutely fabulous life situations for myself. So my life was going great from 2002 to 2015. Ups and downs would come, but when I came into this work, and then there was during that time is where my company also in between, because of the credit squeeze, we say, see, I use the word because of credit squeeze, right? But our company went down almost to the point we were to close down. Then I held on. I talked to Patricia, some guidance. Hold on, don't leave, because you have a spiritual mentor. You can always take suggestions. In business, you have mentors. Mentors, I feel, always is must for everybody to be successful in whatever we do. So spiritual side, I wanted to go full-time service that time. Then Sir said, wait, you don't need to. Wait for 6 months, things will get all right. That's an intuitive feeling that he had. And it turned to be that way, that I held on. But I had my best time of my days that time, where I did so much service during those years. While my business was very, very slow and low, I did so much service that time, maximum to Pyramid Valley International, maximum to means maximum. It is a huge facility to build up a huge facility of 5,000 people pyramid, and then so much. It's a 30-acre campus. So a lot of facilities were building, and then I was actually involved in developing it and all that. So a lot of satisfaction was there. Business-wise, we were very low. We were just hanging in there. We became very lean, mean. From 120 employees, became just about 10 or 12 employees. We had to let go. But then that meditation helped me to stay through the adversity. I was not cribbing, crying, but then it stayed through the adversity to say, am I still doing the right thing? And then that confirmation came and continued. And continued, then I got into, then as you continue and as you are clear about where you want to go, as opposed to cribbing negatively, then suddenly attracted this beautiful workshop by Dr. Newton, Abundance, Prosperity and Abundance workshop. So that I did that in 2009 with some of my management team, core leaders. And then one thing led to the other. Then we attracted a great investor, another spiritual master called Shreyans Daga, as an investor. So then we grew the company quite a bit, pretty quickly from then. We grew the company. We did 3 times revenue, 3 times customers, large customers, but somewhere we were stuck for some time. So I was looking for answers again. We're not growing fast. I was looking for answers again. So that's the time when I got into this work. That we are deep inside energy. Our thoughts, feeling create reality. The thing that's stopping us is our beliefs. We have core beliefs that form time to time, and those beliefs are the ones which hold us back. First, we're all one, so you need to come together with as much as possible with people and friends and places, number one. So this revelation that we're all one, in deep inside as an energy, we're all one. Because in energy field, there's no separation, so we all become one. When I understood scientifically, when I understood, okay, it's even scientifically as energy, it is clearly there, as we're all one. Earlier in the spiritual circle, you say, okay, oneness is there, become one with everybody. Become one with everybody. We didn't know. But as I understood this scientifically, that we are all really, really one, the separation really exists based on how we think. I am this and you are that. And the moment we think I am this, then automatically there has to be a boundary to show you that you are that separately. So we create that. The more I understood this, the more it became easier and easier for me to drop any differences that I may have with anybody, anytime. In a dual nature, while we are living life, so there may be an argument, altercation, this and that will be there, but deep inside, that is over. The next moment, you don't carry the difference. Okay, they have a certain level of understanding, I have a certain level of understanding. And it's always about how to make it work with the other person, as opposed to, oh, he's thinking that way, I'm here. Even the business I'm saying, I continued on my business. I was an executive in IBM. And then the more higher you are as a senior position, then obviously there are more stuff that you have to deal with, whether it's politics, whether it is individual identities, that definitely I was challenged quite a bit around those. But there's always the feeling is that how do I get around? How do I work with this person? How do I get past this energy that may be blocking on the other side? Because it all came from this deeper understanding that we are all one. And the more we can be with that oneness feeling, the more we can become of that, the more we can become that it's really that one. then the more you can take it from us, the more we can take whatever we want from ourselves. You're with me. The more you can become of that whole, then everything is with you. So the more you can take what you want from it. It might sound like an esoteric statement, but it is what it is. Then subsequently, I researched on this and I went and attended some masters, even those Joe Dispenza's workshops in Dubai. Even though he's been a great was a chiropractor, then actually went and did so much research and later on he did some degrees on neuroscience and everything. By the end of the day, if you read his book, they are very, very absolutely scientific. He's done so much research on this whole field of consciousness exploration. And I documented all those results in You're the Placebo, in Becoming Supernatural, in Breaking a Habit of Being Yourself, several of them. But then there is so much. At the end of the day, only one thing that keeps coming out: become one with everything. One with everything. The more you can have that feeling of that being that, then the more you can create it. So that's really what happened in my life, I can say that. So with that understanding, I was meditating every day, never missing a single day. Even I missed breakfast, but never missed my meditation. Every day, for an hour of meditation I used to do, because I'm on a mission to get my company really successful and get behind a larger company. We are in a specific nature of the company that independently existing takes time. And that is not my goal either. My goal was to get into a full-time service. I had total clarity about this. So I was definitely had a goal to get it acquired by a larger company. So I was really, really on a mission for about 15 months when I did that. In the meanwhile, just in 3 months onwards, actually, in fact, ever since I started that thought process and started creating a manifestation meditation, what we call, which we will not have time in this tomorrow, between today and tomorrow, to talk about that concept fully. I'll introduce some today. But with this manifestation concepts that one can achieve whatever that you wish to have. You have to gain more and more clarity of what is it exactly I want. And then with meditation, we gain the clarity. But so it was clear to me, and then I started this manifestation meditations. And one of the core principles of that was to how do I become one? How do I embrace more and more things as opposed to keep to my egos? And then I am positive in working, but then it comes to certain major differences in the decisions, then keep to your ego and then do your own way. That means that I'm separate, you are separate. So that is where I was working on that part quite a bit. I was working myself, and within 3 months things started changing. Synchronicities started happening, most unexpected. This company which came towards wanting to showing interest, called IBM, was not really a partner per se at that point for us. But then I was thinking somebody else would be the right partner, but this partner came. And then it went through several synchronicities along the way for us to go through this whole process and getting acquired. The transaction happened. Then subsequently, my goal shifted to become, how do I teach meditation to as many people, introduce meditation to as many people, primarily in the leadership team. That was my goal, clearly. Of course, I needed to do the right thing by being in IBM to get our company integrated fully, which we did. That was definitely my material responsibility, if you will. I need to do that. I did. But parallelly, I needed to have something exciting for me to stay on. That excitement is not about this business. The excitement was that I committed to myself that I'm going to be in all the time I'm here. I'm going to do my best possible to introduce meditation. And meditation in the senior circles was not heard of at that time in that company. I was proud to say that along with my co-founder for this Buddha CEO Foundation, Lawrence Guhart-Jolly, we were able to introduce meditation, create awareness about meditation to at least 1,000 leaders, senior management, directors and above in that company, in various sessions. We taught meditation. How many of them practicing, I don't know. But definitely everybody has been introduced the concept of meditation. There is an alternate methodology. Using it, you can actually live life to the greatest possible way. That you can express yourself in the greater part of yourself through this concept. So I was able to quite successfully introduce it. And then we grew the mindfulness community, which was about 2,000 people, to more than 10,000, much larger. We don't know, because every person who meditates, who comes on the screen, there are a whole bunch of people who do not necessarily even talk about it, because they still feel vulnerable. That if I talk about meditation, oh, is it religion? Is it this? Is it that? I'm a fiend. Am I seen as a weaker part of the person? All those myths are there. That is over. And then we got into establishing this Buddha CEO Quantum Foundation. And again, this is my goal. This is my wish. Deep desire, that wish is there for Vani, for Lawrence, for many other volunteers that are there. That, okay, how can we introduce it into corporates, into everybody who wants to be a leader, aspiring leaders and leadership? And tell you what, things are happening so beautifully. The only thing that we think of is the more we can embrace, with everything as one. So I do a lot of deep work for myself. And as we're doing it, our foundation is reaching to many, many people. Many, many thanks to Karthikeyan sir, SVB sir, or Ramani sir. But then there are so many other meditators who have been understanding this, and they're also naturally taking it to others. Everybody has a role. Kumari, Ramesh, St. Louis, so many people. Guys are introduced to so many people. Like that it is going. And then Balasundaramji, Thangavelaji. So this is growing. What I'm trying to say is that the more we can embrace that we are one with everything, the more things will manifest in our reality as we wish, because just the way we are supporting the nature of the universe. The nature of the universe is to become one. Separation is limiting our experience capability, right? If three people have come together, you can do a great adventure. Will you by yourself want to go into the Himalayas and do an adventure? You'll think twice, right? Unless you got super capability, confidence. But if there are a set of people out there, you'll feel like, okay, yes, comfortable, I can go it. Group. It's no brainer. A company becomes really big when there are a set of people out there. Individual can do so to an extent, but the more you take people along, you're going to do a lot more. Obvious. When they did this measurement on water, there's a master called Masaru Omito. Water has a lot of consciousness, right? Water has consciousness. They wanted to prove that. And water responds to emotions. So Masaru Omito, this Japanese master, he took water in bottles, and one bottle he said, I hate you. And another bottle he said, I love you. I hate you and I love you. That's all, with feeling. He discovered a technology in which you can crystallize the water and then look at the patterns of the water molecules, crystals, under a microscope. Maybe tomorrow we can show some pictures of it. And you can just search this, Masaru Omito. And Emoto, is it? Maybe Emoto. And then the beautiful, the one that said, I love you, has got such a beautiful geometric pattern formed. It's like your jewelry you make, right? All those jewelry pendants, like all kinds of geometry. Think of that beautiful geometry of hexagons, pentagon shaped, and all kinds of geometries are formed. The mandalas are formed. Sacred geometry, all of that is formed beautifully. The one where he said, I hate you, that energy is totally dissipated, and then it's broken. Lines, there's no uniformity at all. It's all totally broken. That energy is totally broken. There's no connectivity. And you feel like it's like a totally cluttered mind. If you have an orchestra, and then if everybody's playing on their own, not bothered about the other person, what do you get? Something we hear in a market, there's no synchronicity, there's no coherence. That's exactly the state of that energy. Whereas the I love you is such a beautiful pattern. It's like you feel like, okay, you want to embrace it, you want to take it. That's such a beautiful pattern. I love you, I hate you. Simple. Then I understood. That's the time, by the way, this also got introduced to it around that time, where we were in Pyramid Valley. We do this annual Global Festival of Spiritual Sciences, a beautiful event. This year we have not done due to these situations, where several masters come to present their work. And so one of the sessions I learned this work, that water has this beautiful, water exhibits a response to emotion. So that is very clear. Then every thought of mine, just because I do not agree with somebody and then I start feeling about the other person one way or the other, that means I'm breaking that energy around me. I'm not supporting it. I'm making it disconnected, myself disconnected from this whole that is there. So this meditation, dear friends, helps us to be into that positive, to be into that heightened emotion states. Because this meditation is helping us remove our mind where a lot of it is originates. The part of the mind where a lot of it is originates, because it's feeding the I, ego, is originates a lot of that. Expression is important, but carrying that is not. In the process of duality, where we are dual nature, so in order to appreciate good, we have a bad, it is there. Becoming equanimous to it, appreciating for their perspective, understanding is important, but not carrying it. If I have to express anger in a specific situation to get somebody to really come into a meditation practice, you do that. But then you don't deep inside judge and then carry that and say, oh, this person is like this forever. You see, they're two different things. I enjoy gulab jamun. If I carry on and only with that and stay, the next time I get something lower and I feel so bad, gone. But I enjoy gulab jamun, next moment gulab jamun is gone. So I am on to the next moment where I'm a very present moment, aware again in the next moment. So this meditation is helping us to become self-aware to an extent that we slowly take away all those negativity, and then we look to understand that it's in the energy field, in the energy work, we're all one. So we want to all the time not have those thoughts which will break the energy and then become one and then one and one. It's called a being state. No, you become of that. How do you become of that? Practice. If you start learning driving, first day it is so tough, you'll say, you have zero clue, head and tail of how to even hold and say, I always used to wonder, this car has a bonnet and such a long bonnet. How do people actually take a turn? I can't even see when I sit down in the driver's seat. You can't see, right? Where it turns. But then how can these drivers just take a turn and then I said 70, 80 kilometers per hour, they'll take a turn. They'll turn without hitting anything. Because we don't know. But when you are in it, again, the first day, second day, third day, it'll be like that only. No, I can't do this. Practice. First we'll learn the intricacies of it, understand it, and then we practice it. Now what happens? If you're a car driver driving for 5 years, do you even think when you're going out, oh, I have to take a turn there? No, do you think about turn? Or you just do the turn? You do the turn, you know that. You don't think about it anymore. It's not about practice, it's about a be of it. We be of that state. We become of it. It comes as a second nature to you, right? You don't even think when to turn, what to change gear, because they come. That's what we become, dear friends. This meditation is helping us to become. Have that love, have that gratitude, that compassion. So when you become of it, it comes out of it automatically. So, friends, shall we then go into this meditation again? Today we have an opportunity. Let's give our best. Let's commit to ourselves that this next 45 minutes is for me, and then I'm going to give my best to totally empty myself. If the thoughts come, and so be it, they come, I'm going to come back and then be with my breath again. And I'm not giving up in the middle. Chandra is doing it too long for a beginner. Don't think that way. By the way, I also understood 2-minute meditation, 5-minute meditation, 8-minute meditation will get us to have some nice peaceful moment the next moment. But friends, it's not going to get you go deep inside. There are a lot of practices are there. The mindfulness practices are there, which is good. But when you have a base meditation added to your life every day, on top of it, do mindfulness of 2 minutes before going into a big meeting. It's great. Before doing a great performance, you do a 5-minute quick meditation. Wonderful. But then you got to have a base of a solid 30, 40, 50 minutes of meditation where you feel one with that energy field. Get enough time for the brain circuits to reprogram, and then get all that chemical to form. Bunch of things we must do. So commit to yourself. Don't give up after 15 minutes of anapanasati and say, okay, my thoughts are coming and now I'm just sitting quiet. Keep your eyes closed. 80% perception inputs are removed. Sensory inputs. So 80% so much energy is consumed. So keep your eyes closed all the time, no matter what. Make your commitment that day. I'm going to keep my eyes closed all the time. Legs and hands you can move. Your body is not cooperating because eyes, so you can definitely close, right? Your legs maybe have to change a little bit because, of course, the body is not cooperating. Fine, do that. But keep your eyes closed. And then if you have to change your position, do alteration here and there, no problem, right? To the best possible way. And then Continue to observe, observe, observe. The No Problem Mind by Jeff Carrera. There'll be a book. If somebody is having the challenge, you can get this book called No Problem Meditation, which is always telling that the mind is always complaining, and then it is trying to get you out of it as quickly as possible. And then now here it is our choice to tame the mind, and then we become the master again. That's what we are doing with meditation, dear friends. Relax yourself, sit comfortably. And those of you who are new, we are doing breath mindfulness meditation. We're observing our normal, natural breath for the whole duration as part of this meditation called breath mindfulness meditation or Anapanasati. The posture for that is to remove your specs, close your eyes, you cross your fingers into fingers, and then rest your hands comfortably in your lap, and you cross your feet at ankle. Cross your feet at ankle if you are sitting on the chair. Sitting on the floor, you can just have a cross-legged, right? Padmasana, not necessary. Spine erect, not necessary. If you can do, fine. If you can't do, don't do. But when you are doing it and it pains you, don't bother about it. Take the comfortable posture, important, number one. You need backrest, take it, right? Some people have expressed, I can't sit for too long because it just pains me because I have some tailbone and this and that. No problem. Please lie down and meditate. Until the time your tailbone is supporting you, then you please sit down and meditate. Because when you lie down, you usually tend to go into sleep. That's the only thing. You tend to go to sleep. You want to avoid that, isn't it? Right? So that's the posture. And then we close our eyes and we observe, take any point on the nose and observe that breath is going in and breath is coming out. Breath is going in and coming out. And as you observe, there is an equation where the mind starts becoming empty. Our goal is to empty the mind. All the thoughts of the mind. When you observe the breath, mind becomes empty. So keep observing, and the breath becomes lighter, shorter, whatever that is, just observe it and become a witness of everything that's happening. While you're observing, your attention may go after thoughts. Please bring back to again the breath. Do not be harsh on yourself when you're judging that you're thinking only all the time. It's a natural process. 5-year experienced or 0-year experienced or 10-year experienced meditator is always having those processes. Then while observing, thoughts will come, mind goes off there, and then you have to bring it back. It is common for long-term meditator or the short-term meditator. So you are new, it is the same thing. Don't worry about it. We're all in the same boat. All right. So observe, and then when we get distracted somewhere, bring it back. Distracted somewhere, bring it back here. That's all we have to do for the whole duration of the meditation. And along the way, I'm guiding. See if you can follow my guidance. If you can't follow, no problem. Just be with the breath. Okay. And prior to doing this breath mindfulness, we're doing something called heart elevation process. Follow my guidance actively, and then you can easily do it. The crux of that process is that we have to feel by recollecting an event of love or gratitude from your life and feel that emotion in your heart. You know, when you recollect your trip to an adventure trip with friends, how do you feel? Like, you know, a lot of, wow, there's a good feeling, an adventure, joyous feeling. You bring that feeling back into your heart. That's all you have to do. That's the crux of it, but you follow me actively, and then you can very easily do it, right? For this heart elevation process, you want to keep your hands on the chest area like this, initially. It'll go for 5 minutes, and then we go into breath mindfulness meditation, where I specifically say, now let's go into this breath mindfulness. That time you switch your hands from here to this, and then put your hands on your lap and meditate. Dear friends, relax yourself, sit comfortably with eyes closed. So as we are relaxing in, let's, I certainly would like to hear from some of your experiences. And meanwhile, let's listen into Chandra Madali ji, who's been a senior executive of IT, and listening to specific experience from him about how he has been, in the last 3 months, has been intensified his meditation practice, how it's helping him. Chandra, you're not spoken, right, in this group?
Hi, friends. Am I clearly audible?
Yes. And anybody would like to share, so please raise your hand so that after Chandra, we can take some questions. Yes, go ahead.
And I have been very fortunate to get into this style of meditation. One, it is very simple to practice. Two, it enhances our own inner journey, our understanding about ourselves. I will share my experiences from two particular perspectives. One is with respect to my health, how this has helped in improving my health condition. And the second one in particular is with respect to my different experiences that we have through some of the internal organizations and facilities that have been provided by the Buddha CEO Foundation. The first one, coming to health. See, I have been a diabetic for over 40 years now. And in 40 years, the way the drug, I should not say a disease, but this disability, the way it matures and harms us is what I have experienced. I have lost about 4 toes on my feet to diabetes and sheer neglect. And the main cause has been taking in too much of stress, getting emotional, repeating the negative thoughts that I have to undergo in my work life, etc. Now, after I came in here, my health has improved significantly. Now, how? One is this meditation has brought about a change in my food craving and food habits. It has enabled being temperamentally very balanced. And third, last but not the least, this has resulted in my sugar levels coming to near normal. From a person who was taking more than 120 units of insulin a day, in addition to the metformin that goes with that, today I am on metformin only once a day. Earlier it was thrice a day along with every dose of insulin of 40 units each. Now, that is one benefit. But the hidden benefit out of it, which I have seen was, which I observed only today, was that I used to have dry skin whenever the month of August comes in. August to December, it used to be terribly dry. I have not seen a speck of dryness in my skin over these months, which means the blood circulation to my feet, etc., has also improved. And this is something that I would like to place on record in the last 1 month. What is the change that I have done? I have only enabled my body to cure itself. Now, coming to the second part, I don't know, Chandraji, are we having book clubs wherein these people also will participate?
From September 14th, yes, they'll join.
Okay. So, book clubs is another area. We all feel, like Chandraji was explaining earlier, we all feel that we know a lot about ourselves. When we listen and read the books that have been recommended, we know how little we know about ourselves. And by the end of the session, in participating there, we also know having participated. So I would request everyone to benefit from this and exploit every little bit of knowledge, opportunity that is provided by Soul Trends, Buddha Pyramid, and Pyramid Valley and the Buddha CEO Foundation. Thank you very much, Chandraji.
Wonderful. So it's not clear to me. You reduced your tablet, and then also you said you did remove the insulin. Insulin is there.
There is no insulin. That's gone.
Okay, I think you didn't talk about that. Okay,
It's a,
so no insulin. You remove. You no longer have to take insulin now, and then you also reduce the tablet from 3 times to 1 time a day.
yes. I mean, no insulin, tablet reduced, sugar level 100 to 120 in the fasting, and between 140 to 170 postprandial. And random is around 150.
Wonderful.
Like
Thank you.
1 month, I'll be off all of these. I'm 100% sure.
Tadastu.
Thank you.
We want to see you that way.
Now you will see me.
Okay.
For pyramid, I mean, this COVID to get over and I get a permit to travel. Once that is there, I'm coming to Bangalore.
Please, we'll wait for you. Absolutely. That's great. Thank you, Chandraji. I mean, one of the occasions you mentioned that you feel so energetic now and you feel like starting afresh with doing a lot of things now. And
Yes.
thank you for all your volunteer service into doing these book clubs. I think there's nothing more important than expanding somebody's knowledge and consciousness while we do it for ourselves.
Yes, sir.
Wonderful. Okay, so we have Bindu madam. What do we have?
Yes, sir. We have Nisha Naidu. Ma'am, I'm unmuting you.
Yeah, yes, I'm from Pondicherry, and I have attended like last July session, 40-day session. So July session, I attended the 40-day session, and I'd like to thank you, sir, and thank Lalita who introduced me to this session. I can see tremendous changes in me and my life, and I can say differentiate like what I was now, what I am. So early, like my thoughts have been changed, and my perspective towards life, my belief system has changed. Like I get up early in the morning, finish all the work, and earlier I used to like postpone my work, like okay, kal karte, like tomorrow we'll do tomorrow. But now after this attending the meditation, like, I make sure that I finish all my work today itself. No more postponing my work to the next day, as I feel the next tomorrow is a new day for me. So I have to finish all today itself. So these all have been started in my life, and prioritizing my work. And yes, sir, I have a fear of speaking in front of everyone. This is the first time I'm speaking in front of everyone. Such a big people like you, Karthikeyan sir, and many other leaders. So I used to think that what if I say something wrong? What the people will misunderstand me. So that fear is there. But now slowly it has overcome. So this I'm speaking in front of you. So there's tremendous changes in my life. The whole day I feel very energetic. And moreover, I get up early in the morning around 4:30. So I start doing meditation early in the morning. Uh, and also I joined 6 o'clock the session which I used to, and now this 10:30. So like I feel that I should not miss the single movement. And yes, sir. So this is like, and one more thing, sir. Then during a 40-day session, you spoke about the disease. Like I was having that fear before coming to the meditation, like about the cancer, because in my family, my grandmother, my mother, all were having fear. So whoever met in my relative, so they used to say, "Oh, be careful. The cancer is hereditary, hereditary. So you have to be careful." Everyone has told me. So that fear was there since childhood till before coming to the meditation. But after this, to be very honest, I don't have these kind of fear in my mind. Oh, I'll get the cancer like that. It's totally vanished now. So every day I feel very happy and enjoy the whatever I'm doing. And yes, sir, so this is like the complete transformation in me, and very active I feel whole day. And the one thing I have promised in my life that forever I will practice meditation, never ever give up this. Thank you so
Wonderful.
much, sir.
Wonderful, Nisha. You spoke it so well. And yes, cancer, it is not hereditary. Let's not even get there. Deep griefs, deep suppressions of any of those kinds, those result from a negative mind, either from this time or from the past, right? Or what are resulting into this, and then you are free. Now you are meditating, so don't even get there, and then it cannot come and then touch. Now, what happens in our life when we start seeing a deeper meaning? Not because of somebody else, it's because of something from our perspective. So that's what we'll slowly understand, right?
Yes, sir.
Meditation does not mean that nothing will come or not come, but you said very beautifully, I don't have that fear anymore. I think that's key. That's key. All right.
Thank you, sir.
So wonderful.
Thank,
Thank you, Nishaji. It's very good. Yes.
thank
So,
you, sir.
yes, next, Bindi madam. Thank you for sharing, Nishaji. Yes.
Yes, sir. We have Ravindranath Gupta. Sir, I'm unmuting you.
Since last 40 days, around 40 days program. Yesterday night, I logged on to YouTube live for the 3-hour full moon meditation along with Brahmashi Patiji, the flute music. But are you able to hear me?
Yes, yes, we can hear you.
Yeah. But what happened is I was not able to focus on the breath at all. Although almost for 1.5 hours, my focus was only on the beautiful kirtanas being played there in the music. I absolutely not able to focus on breath at all. Then I gave up and I enjoyed the music. I don't know why it was so.
It's okay. The music is very beautiful, very touching, so we enjoy it. Um, but slowly, if you are listening to it, then one can get used to it also and then go into the deep meditations. It's okay. There's nothing to think about. If you are enjoying this music, then use this. You can keep wearing the music, right? And then see what clicks for you. There are tons of music on YouTube too. Yeah. Okay.
Okay. Okay.
Thank you.
Thank
Yes.
you very much.
We'll do Mayuri, and then I think I would like to talk a little bit about quantum field and stuff before we lose others. Yes.
Yes. Ma'am, go ahead. Ma'am, you're unmuted.
Very good afternoon to everybody. First of all, thank you for giving me this opportunity to share with you all. A big thank you to Chandra sir and his team. I have been a part of this meditation process since the 16th of July, and I've been a part of this week also. There are a few changes in me. Definitely, my sleep pattern has reduced. Number of hours of sleep has reduced. My thoughts are a little bit more clearer. Become more patient than before because I am a teacher by profession. So there are many ups and downs with respect to our patience level being tested every time when we are with children, and especially now with this online classrooms. So that has happened. My migraine has almost gone. Otherwise, earlier I had to take a tablet for my migraine, which now I don't have migraine. So that's a very big thing for me. And this is the change that I have seen in myself. My children, of course, have been telling me that they are also seeing these changes in me. Yes, this change is to a certain extent, and I'm sure that it will happen 100%. So I'm going to be continuing with this meditation, and I'm grabbing any opportunity that comes my way with respect to Buddha CEO Foundation that has any programs, upcoming programs that are there. Another thing that I would like to just mention over here is what Chandra sir said about these book clubs. I have been a part of these book clubs, and I am still a part of the ongoing book clubs which he's a part of, and he's doing it so beautifully. So I request all the participants to please join this book club because they have it in such a beautiful way. And definitely, as Chandra sir said, you learn more about yourself in these book clubs. It is wonderful. There's a lot of sharing, and you get a lot of clarity in your thoughts. So I urge everyone to please be a part of these book clubs. Thank you. Hope to see you all there. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Mayuri madam. This is so beautiful. Your words are coming from you. Nice to know that our quest to share this with everybody is there. That's great. And the fear, uncertainty, and doubt, Doubt is the one which is stopping us from going all the way. So when we don't doubt, and then we make a decision, and we don't doubt of the little changes that are happening in ourselves, and we hold on to that, it's going to translate to even bigger and bigger. So the moment we stop doubting. So we get some experience. Yes, this is the real experience. Oh, I don't have this because I didn't experience last 3 days. Like, when Chandra Mazari ji said, I have noticed that, okay, there's no dry skin anymore. So if you don't doubt that, and then you stay on to that, and then absolute is going to go all the way. So that's beautiful. Yes, your migraine headache going away, it's got to be real. It's got to be real. And that way, because you are doing everything possible that the body be as it is, as it can best be through this meditation. Thank you. All right. We'll come back to those who also raised their hand after the sessions. I need about 15 minutes, so let me talk about this quantum field. I'm talking about day one onwards. What is this quantum field? Right. So we're going into a little bit of physics, right? But let's give it a shot and then understand this. So the more we understand, the more we can feed in that analytical mind to feel good, so that it can take the next step, right? It allows you to take the next step. Everything we call real is made of things that cannot be regarded as real. Leave the second part of the quote out. But everything we call real is made up of things that cannot be regarded as real. That's Niels Bohr, a popular physicist who has done so much research, right, in this whole subatomic world. So what's this quantum field of possibilities? So what you see there on the left side, I want you to pay attention to this small little picture, right? It's an atom. You know, the atom is the smallest, not the smallest unit, but one of the smallest units, where it's like your hydrogen atom. The elements we know, right? It's an element. Oxygen atom, we call them. All the elements are a single unit of that atom. I don't know how many elements are there. There must be 100 plus now, right? And so these elements have been discovered, and so each one is. Then when you combine multiple elements, then you become a molecule, a combination of something larger, right? A molecule at that point is some kind of two atoms come together as a chemical reaction, become molecules. So sodium chloride, NaCl, H2O, water. So where hydrogen and oxygen are combined. Sodium and chlorine are combined, sodium chloride, right? Hydrochloric acid, sulfuric acid, we know all of these things. If you've done through till 6th grade or 7th grade, you would have known about them, right? So this atom at the lowest level, which are the independent elements that are there. Now this one, if you see, it has got 3 orbits, right? We understood there is a nucleus where the proton around this nucleus from the center. So in this case, there are 3 orbits. I guess there is these 3 more electrons, but wherever these dots are there, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, so maybe around 10 dots are there in these 3 orbits. Those 10 dots are 10 electrons, and then the center, which is nucleus, is also a proton, is also, that's called proton. So the proton and then these electrons together, which are those dots, have some weight, mass to them. They have mass, right? They together, combined together, can weigh something, because they're particles. What do we know? They're as particles, right? Because that's all we can imagine. Ever since we're grown up, the only thing we know is that physical existence. So everything is physical for us. Everything is a matter. That's the Newtonian physics. In Newtonian physics, everything is matter, everything is particle, everything is predictable. So here, this atom, what you see, there is those 10 electrons and then 1 proton together. Whatever you see as this dot or that thing, that is mass. but rest of it is all, what is that? It's emptiness, right? Rest of it is no mass. So in this picture, if that part, including these orbits where they are, if that is what you consider as this atom space, this atom occupies space, right? So let's say this is occupying, if you draw an imaginary circle around these orbits, so that's about the space this atom occupies. But in that space, if the dots are only place where the mass exists, because every time a particle, it has a clear boundary, right? Isn't it? If I take this phone, the phone's boundary is all around the edges, isn't it? Like that, if all those dots are all the mass is, then everything else in the imaginary circle around the orbits is emptiness. By looking at this picture, you would agree with me if I ask you, hey, what percentage of the picture is empty? You'll probably tell me 90, 95, something like that, right? So that's what you will say is empty. And then that 5% is all those dots that comprise together is a 5% of space. 5% of the space is occupied with the matter. So this is how we can, with the naked eye, we can see that an atom, when I'm looking at it, has got only a very small percentage of matter, but everything else is emptiness. So that's the space it's occupying. But tell you what did quantum physics say? Quantum physics, you pay attention to the third bullet, is saying that it is actually 99.999999. How many lines? I believe it's 11 lines. So much in lines of emptiness is there. The mass that you find and observe is so little. How little is it? 0.071. That's more like 1 part out of 10 crores, I think, the last I tried. 1 part out of 10 million or 100 million. If you take anything and then divide it into, let's say 10 crores, divide it into 10 million parts, and then 1 part you take, and that much is only matter. Everything else is empty. So it means, friends, practically it is empty, number one. Second, they found that at the deepest level, what we think this electron is particle, like a ball, right? It's like a marble ball that is a particle. At the deepest level, it's not particle. What they found is not particle alone. It's also energy. It's a wave. Quantum physics has proven that it is everything that is there. The atom, the electron is not only particle, but it's a wave too. You know what's a wave? That's what you see on the right side. We say that radio waves, of course, we don't see it physically, but the waves are there somewhere where they're traversing from one place to another contiguously. That's how our radio antenna is receiving them. Akashvani somewhere there in Hyderabad, but then the broadcasted waves, they are received, right? Because the waves are there always. There's no separation for the waves. Waves are contiguous. They travel, right? Our television waves, the waves are there, they travel. So the signal the antenna catches signal because they continuously they're traveling. There's no break for them. Whereas particle has a break and a boundary, right? There's a separation. But what they found, the scientists have found, that every electron at the deep inside, at the subatomic particle level, they are waves as well as particles, both. It's called wavicle. Quantum physics try to call it wavicle. It's a wave and a particle wavicle because both. It exists as both. Now, when does it exist as wave? When does it exist as particle? Interesting, right? So they have further looked at, made several experimentation. Now, since everything is a wave by default, if they found that by default everything is a wave, so my body has a bunch of atoms, they're all are waves deep inside. Your body has a bunch of atoms, they're all waves deep inside because the electrons and all of that. And then there is electron and there is also emptiness, right? The emptiness, they found it to be completely full of energy and information. That 95% or 99% emptiness there is full of emptiness, is full of energy and information. And that particle, what you're taking as electron is particle, is also wave as energy most of the time. And so when it's energy most of the time, then they found that your waves, my waves, and everybody's waves are all connected. It's all become one. Okay. And they said that this wave, that electron as a wave, is staying as wave until the time nobody observed it. And when somebody starts observing, that's when it's becoming a particle. Until the time observation is done, it is merely staying as energy, as a wave. But when someone says, I want you to be here in front of me, meaning because I'm expecting this to be seen in front of me, then I'm seeing it right here. Otherwise, it's a wave, but then I'm seeing it as a phone. I expect it, and I've been crystallized it, and so it is coming down as an object. I'm talking right now at the deep subatomic particle level. There's still a lot of research going on. But however, this is in a research now almost 100 years old, since 1919s, right? 1919, from that onwards. Except that, the science is not really encouraged a lot of it because it is invalidating a whole lot of theories. This whole Newtonian model, it invalidates. I want to say quantum physics is where everything is energy and then particles are also energy. Then it invalidates some of the Newtonian models where everything is seen as particle. Two particles come together, collide. But in quantum model, what's happening, since it's also an energy, when two particles come together, before the particle masses can collide, the energy fields are colliding. And what is there in that energy field? They have researched that energy field has information. Information is thought that's going in the information. So before two particles come together and collide and make a chemical reaction, the energy fields collide, and guess what's happening? There's an exchange of information, energy is happening. So this is where the mind over matter comes in, that energy which is thought, and then if that is influencing the other thing or whatever, then there is a change in that way it behaves. It takes some time to understand, but it needless to say, so if we just stay there and understand that electron is wave as energy, electron is particle. And when somebody observed it, when they put an experimentation, where is this electron going from firing through a gun? Where is it going? And then they try to observe it when they're firing an electron through a machine gun, and they want to see. And until the time they saw the electron was going here, there, and forming as a band, where when they're firing electron straight, but then you expect it to be forming in a single straight line, right? If I'm firing, but then it is forming as a band and a wall, because the electron is oscillating and stop wherever it is hitting there, it is oscillating. But the moment they put an observer, then it became straight line. So quantum physics at deep atomic level proven that the electrons are everything is there, but they are wavy nature, and they're becoming into the physical reality into a specific point and place based on where the observer expected it to have. That's why the last statement it says an atom can appear nowhere and everywhere. Nowhere and everywhere, because wave. Everywhere where you expect it to be, then it shows up there. It is showing up there. This deep inside this matter is oscillating beyond the speed of light. Our thought energy is transferring beyond speed of light. That emptiness space, that's all traveling at beyond speed of light, which is 300,000 kilometers per second. Earth is not more than 47,000 kilometers, right? So it's sub-second, sub-milliseconds, you're just already going to anywhere in the earth and coming back. So that's why when you think of your near and dear one, somebody sitting in Bangalore, you think about somebody, and then in fact there is a phone call comes and says, oh, Beta, I was just thinking about you, you called me. How did that happen? That's telepathy. So going a little bit now further, so if you look at this quantum field as unlimited potential possibilities, observation manifests the possibilities into physical reality. This observation that we're talking about is that the experimentation they have done is called double slit experiment. You can search for it. What's the time now? So I think depending on the time. Okay, 12:21. So I don't have time to play the video, but it's called double slit experiment. And then one of the readers can type in Fred Alan Wolf. Fred Alan Wolf is a quantum physicist. So he's done some research and put together this beautiful video, otherwise I would have played. But that sort of helps you to understand this concept of this wavy nature of the electron, and when they did the experimentation, what's happening, and then how it is exhibiting as a particle when somebody started observing it. Until the time it is observed, it is behaving like a wave. It's not bothered. It's just part of everything else, it's floating. But once somebody is observing it, then it changed into a particle and then showed up. So friends, with this experimentation, now quantum physics then tried to construct it bigger and said every physical event our experience that we have in life is like a physical event. What is a physical event? It's got a definite start time, there's an end time, and then there are persons, places, and things. Persons means you take it as life. There's a life, there is places and things. In a place, and there are a whole bunch of objects and a whole set of entities, right? Whether you are there, animals are there, all these living organisms are there, but then the people, things, and then places, they're all there in an event, right? Everything is about an experience, is nothing but that. Last night we had dinner, one event. Today this thing we are doing together is one event. One marriage which continued for 5 days, one event. My experience in this government job for 10 years is one event. Start time, end time, and whole set of things in that is considered as one event, right? An event of your life can be anything immediate, or can anything for short or for long duration, you can say. So everything is an event, physical event, and is nothing but then an appearance of pattern of subatomic particles. That means the electrons and quantas and everything. A big series of sequence of event electrons all come together. They're all collapsed as a possibility, from a possibility to a reality. Like this event where you and I and every one of us came together, where we have put an intent about this about 1.5 months ago. We made the flyer, we put it on a website, we thought about it. Me and all my team members, we all thought about it and said, let's do this 5-day event. We put this intent and thought out it. Then you came together, you saw it, you also registered, and then until today, you made sure that the calendars are free. So everything you're putting some observation onto it. You put your thought and then thought and thought onto it. Likewise, many of us thought about it. And then so together, we collapsed what this concept of this event of 5 days total well-being meditation event. What is comprised of? It comprises of a whole set of atoms, electrons, everything has been there in all over the place, but as a piece of energy, if I stitch it together and I look at an energy meter, they'll all be set of electrons, atoms. My body, there is a full dense of electrons, atoms here. Another one, Bangalore, Vani in the other room. But we plot all of this together, there'll be dense electrons here and there, and then in between gaps, but everything is connected. So ultimately, we made this event possible. So every event, quantum physics is saying that we're all energy, so we're all connected as a single continuous energy field. And there are infinite possibilities waiting to happen, because why? This wave nature is waiting to become reality with an observation. Somebody has to observe. What is that observation? Then quantum physics now is including consciousness. It is including consciousness into it. I said, if you start with matter as top, then you are going nowhere. So they put consciousness at top and said, this awareness, that mind is not, its brain is in the body, mind is outside the body. That awareness, the mind is our individual mind. There is a greater mind, which is the mind of the soul altogether, because it's all energy combined, it is there. So there is consciousness that is somewhere there, and which is in the form of thought, or the energy is bringing in and collapsing certain possibility. So the consciousness is there outside, and then every time there is a thought, which is a type of energy that is coming in, and then which is what is then observing it and then bringing it to reality. So observation is nothing but thought and feeling. So what quantum physics has said is there's infinite field of energy. That field of energy has unlimited potential possibilities, because everything is connected. This planet, our bodies, everything, plus other planets, stars, galaxies, everything is connected, all as a big field. And so the possibilities of how many ways it can show up is unlimited. So unlimited possibilities are there. And then what is making it happen? Merely our thought and feeling, our observation. Right? Our observation is making it happen. So then, if 95% of our thoughts are negative and redundant, and then what are they doing? They are draining our energy and then dropping our focus to observe something that we really want. We don't even know, but then that's where our attention has been going. If our attention brings the possibility into reality, and our attention is on what happened yesterday in Kargil, what is it going to do to you? You're probably going to enhancing that more, and then creating a more situation for something there out there. What happened day before yesterday to my neighborhood? Somebody, vacated the body with COVID. And we think about it, we get more fearful, then we're creating more of that, because our observation collapse and possibility. So we got it dropped. So many thoughts in our body, 95% are negative. And repeated thoughts are strengthening the memory connections and becoming more and more stronger. The neuroscience is saying that every time we think more, then the connections are becoming stronger. It's called the cells that fire together, wire together. Every time you recollect something, then you are strengthening the connections. You recollect one more time, more connections. You talk about it to somebody, more connections. So unknowingly, we are living, we are keep on thinking about things that become more and more strong in our mind, and the mind then is what is projecting into the field. Things that we want it or don't want it doesn't matter. It can be a Mother Teresa's mind, it can be a Hitler's mind. Choice is ours, right? One can give enormous love, one can give enormous hate, dominance, right? Thoughts produce neurotransmitters, which are serotonin and cortisol. So basically here the science is that because the thoughts are producing physically in the body, neurologically, and neurotransmitters, and those are going down, this serotonin and then cortisol is a chemical. Serotonin is a neuropeptide in the brain, and then going and then translate into cortisol into the body. And as a result, we get feelings. The feelings are non-supported feelings. When they're coming down, dear friends, then feelings are producing more thought. So we go into this thinking feeling loop. Every feeling that you have, it produces a ton of thought related to a past experience of similar kind. If a dog is chasing at us, then immediately we get fearful. Then we look at every threatening situation that we got in our life. Immediately a feeling kicks in into the cognitive mind, and then it's going and then accessing from various parts of the brain. Hey, where is that feeling in the past that you got into? Because that's the nature of which it's connected. Because the brain is always organizing itself into everything that's related. Because remember yesterday we said it has to have a good recollect capability. So what do? It is trying to organize itself, all things that are related. We know it. When you want to have deeper memory, there is concept of indexing, right? You index and then classify things that are related into one bucket so that you can easily remember. That's what the brain is automatically doing. So all feelings of threaten to the body, it has all the thoughts, it has kept all the memories together, linked up to each other very nicely. So one comes up and then immediately some more pulled out. Then you have more feeling, you go back and then more and more things are pulled out. So one after the other, we relive it. On the left side, the cells that fire together, wire together. The more times you recollect, the more times they become stronger. It boasts like like that tree, right? It becomes banyan tree. It becomes bigger and bigger in its roots, and it spreads more and more tentacles, and then more and more things are formed about that. So as a result, dear friends, we constantly caught in this thinking feeling loop, which we have to change. If thoughts and feelings create realities, we need to change them. The way to change them is by reading and reading and reading and reading. All right. If we have time, we'll talk about how this neuroscience of the body is connected to helping us and read more when we meditate. That learning to doing to being. If we can read things that are supportive, like the book clubs is a great way. The reason we introduce book clubs is that not only we meditate, but we are absolutely taking on this new knowledge that supports us to project the right things for us so that we can actually create a more and more beautiful reality for ourselves, right? So reading is a great way, because then you're changing your brain circuits to find things that are supporting. And then what is the underneath? Meditation is removing all the unsupported thought. Reading is expanding your supported thought. So both have to be hand in hand. That's why we give so much importance. That book, Meditation, is easy. If you have not read, please read. The last 4 pages, there are books, best books of the world are recommended in that. Patrizi has read so many of them, and then added. All those best books are there. Pick any book. It doesn't matter where you start. Pick any book and then start reading, dear friends. And then I'm sure you will, as you expand that and then as you meditate regularly, then we are slowly changing. That's what we heard from Mayuri ma'am. That's what we heard from Nisha. Fear of public speaking. We don't even succeed. Now you come out, and I used to be such an introvert, by the way. Totally. And then after meditation, the fear has gone, and I spoke in front of people, 50,000 people talking in a meditation event. So I'm still the same, but then I just have that confidence, and it comes easily. So many things like that, dear friends. So thoughts create reality is fundamental. That's corroborated by quantum physics. And the neuroscience supports it, saying that the more you think of the same thought, that's what is being projected for you. So quantum physics says thoughts create reality. Neuroscience says that anything that's repeated becomes stronger and stronger, and then so then our ability, our importance is about how do I remove what is there and then I reprogram something new. And that's where about learning. It's about meditation. So have a great day, dear friends. And then we will do this final session tomorrow. And then we're going to do the weekly, right? And then stay connected in. But then, of course, a lot of onus is on you, right? To meditate and then continue this and then make it 4 weeks of practice, 6 weeks of practice. Make it a real habit. Like what Nishi said, I wake up at 4:30 now. No one needs to tell me, right? You fundamentally have made it a practice. So the body is saying, I love it. I want more of it, right? So that's what it becomes when you practice for 6 days, 6 weeks without a miss. So the weekend is coming. So do plan. Our sincere request, do plan around your time so that you don't miss it on the weekend. No break for meditation. If you're not giving break for your body by not skipping your breakfast and lunch and dinner, then you would have to agree with me that this meditation is healing all the body, so don't give a break. So plan your time around so that you actually can meditate in the weekend too. Right, friends? So have a great day, and then we'll meet back again tomorrow. Thank you so much.